and
First,
we
let me
can.
load all the games.
Mhm.
So I hear some noise in the background.
Okay, I'm not. I'll just check into it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay. So I have at least 5 games opened, and there are again some
okay,
interesting clashes.
okay. So you just let me know the first one. We'll open it. So and then
Yeah.
we can start. So
Okay. So before we go to the specifics of the board, let me just have a look at how what's happening in the chat.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So we have Nupur, we have Mangesh, Modak, and we have Avi Kumar. And I think Avi Kumar is the winner of the giveaway. So Avi Kumar, please just send a message to us on Chesscom India Twitter account or on our Facebook account. And we will make sure that you get the diamond membership from chess.com. So Avi Kumar, you are right. It's Germany and it's Emmanuel Lasker. For those who have joined,
Congratulations to Avi.
yeah, for those who have joined just now, my question was about this that who is the like which country did the second world champion represent? And the answer is Germany. Yeah, so I hope my team is looking after the comments. Yes, yes. All
Mhm.
right.
Okay. Okay. So
So all right. So all the games are live. You are watching the broadcast of Sukooon Resort first Indian Chess.com League. We have our title sponsor and our broadcast sponsor is Desi Boys. So let's get going with the games. So I am the game of Deadeye versus Axio, that is Aryan Chopra versus Padmini Raut.
versus Padmini Raut. Okay. So this is. I think the last time we were talking about Padmini actually played the stone. So from Dutch defense, she wanted to the stone wall structure, which we were discussing in the second round,
Second,
right?
yeah, right.
Uh-huh. And as I was saying, Padmini has put her knight on e4,
E4,
and
yeah.
yes,
We have a
let's see.
second
It's
stonewall
it's
of the day.
okay. Yes, we have second stone wall of the day. So I think we will need to see what happened to the what was the result of first one. So
Yeah.
let me just quickly go through that. So Srinath actually, so the first stone wall Srinath won. He beat Sankalp Gupta. So let's see if Padmini is able to repeat the feat against Aryan Chopra.
Yes. So this is nice. Yeah. Rook comes to G7. I have seen this only in King's Indian mainly.
Actually, this is, I agree with you. This is a bit unusual idea. So, but in which line of King's Indian have you seen it since you play King's Indian?
It's like get your knight to f6 and somehow rook f7 and
Hmm.
rook g7. One knight
Okay.
goes to h6.
Okay.
That kind.
Very good. Okay, and then you go for the G4 break and try to
Right, right. The whole
go
aim
with
in
it.
King's Indian
Okay.
is to get that very magical g4 break, or let's say bishop into h3.
So, so but I have seen this idea not much into Stonewall. So I think Padmini has used her creativity to and her overall knowledge to maybe apply the the common King's Indian idea into the stone wall. So many times we see King h8, Rook g8, but in this position sometimes if King h8, Rook g8 is there, then as viewers can see, f7 fork can come. That's why she played. Very interesting.
Yeah. So which is your favorite opening, Ankit? You have played chess for more than 15 years. You must have at least
Uh-huh.
some conclusions about your favorites.
My favorites actually. So it is Karokan Black Side and
Karokan, Black Side.
Semi-Slav Black Side. And very recently, I've started playing Catalan White Side. So the only regret is why I didn't start sooner. So it
Right.
is
Okay.
that would be my top three.
I've just got a message
How about
that
you? Uh-huh.
about me. About me, of course, Catalan is a hands down winner.
Hmm.
But I play a lot of openings, so I don't have a specific favorite after Catalan. So all the others come in one
Okay.
club. Catalan comes
Hmm.
at the top. So I just got a
Hmm.
message that there is a very interesting game between
Okay.
Pragnananda
Let's
and
see.
Seturaman.
Pragnananda versus Sethuraman. Okay. Heavyweight battle. So let me just open that game and then we will see what is going on there. So Pragnananda. So where the game is.
Yeah, I'm also not able to see the game.
Yeah, that's what. So I hope the game has not ended already. No, no, no. I can see it. It's okay. So I have opened it. So once you open it, please let me know.
Yeah, Pragnananda versus Sethuraman. Interestingly, I am not able to see the game
So I
yet.
think you'll have to go below. It's quite down on chess.com. I mean the games list.
Okay. So meanwhile, let's just see the game that I have on the screen. I will pull that game up. The game I
Okay.
have on the screen
Okay, no problem.
is between Swayams and Ajay Karthikeyan.
Okay, Swayam Swastika Ajay Karthikeyan. Let's take a look at that one. So I have it opened up on my stream. Yes, my side. So
Screen,
Rook
yeah.
F1. So this is, I think, sort of. It looks like the Caro-Kann line where the double pawns are there on F file, right? So, but of course, it has not come from Caro-Kann. But I would feel that white may have some advantage. So I think I'll ask the viewers the question. What do you think is the reason white may have some advantage? So
Yeah, good question.
let us try to get their viewpoint. So I feel white has advantage, but I will not tell you why. Let's ask the questions to viewers.
Yes,
Why do you feel white may have some
white is better.
advantage? So
Why?
material is equal. What material is equal, so there are some other factors because of which white has some advantage. So
Let
let
me look
us
at the
get the
chat.
answer. Okay. Mm.
Just for fun, there is Harshit Dawar, and we already have announced the winner of the first giveaway. It's Avi Kumar. So maybe now you could try answering this question also. Like, you feel if white is better, just try to give your reasons. Why do you think white is better?
Mhm. Yes. So
So
I think
Harsh,
what we can do is once we have. Sorry. So has someone written something on this?
no, no message yet.
Okay. No. So I think what we can do is we can go for some other game. If someone mentions, then we'll get back to this again and then try to
Right,
address.
right.
So I will not yet will I'll not yet reveal why it is that. Maybe we'll keep it for later purposes.
Okay.
So you can
Interestingly,
choose another game and then I will.
I have another let's
Uh-huh.
say interesting clash between Vishnu Prasanna and Stani.
Okay, Stanny. So let's just go for that standing game. Okay. So it has I think it started with Queen's it looks like it started with Queen's Gambit Decline, but it's actually Queen's Indian Defense. So where Black plays
G6.
G6 structure, so it's sort of King's Indian, with B6 it's sort of Queen's Indian,
It's a
you can say.
Petrosian system, right?
So yes, so I think A3 won, yes exactly. But a queen b3, so bishop a6, queen b3. I think Vishnu Prasanna sort of deviated, but he is very natural moves. He's just trying to develop his pieces and coming to the final position.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should be about equal because Stani, the queen on b7 is quite flexible, and Stani may play knight bd7 or maybe b5 and knight c6 and able to complete his development.
Yeah. I just got a
That's
result of the round. I mean, there's one result
okay.
already. Jens Srinath
Oh,
has
very
won
quickly.
against Raja Ritvik. Let's see that game.
Okay, let's see actually. So let me just try to open that up quickly, and then we can see that. So
Uh,
let's see.
there was a message for those who don't know. There is a Twitch channel with Desi Boys, so you can follow them. The address is very easy, just twitch.tv/Desi Boys. You can follow them on Twitch as well as on YouTube. So I just answered a query. All right.
Okay.
So let's come to the game we were on. That is Srinath versus Raja Ritvik. Raja Ritvik is an young IM.
Yes.
It's a
So
Tromboski.
Trompovsky. Okay, second Trompovsky of the day, at least from what we have seen. Like
Right, right.
Swams was also playing it, right?
No, he played Torre.
So
Torre attack.
oh, sorry. He played. Oh, after knight f6, he played bishop. Oh no, he played Torre. Sorry, I'm
Let's say
mistaken.
they are cousins.
Okay. Sort of cousins. Okay, so from the same family tree, if we have to call it.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's okay. So knight. So I think Srinath just as we were, if you remember, we were talking about the game between Pragnananda and Aronya Ghosh. So if you
Correct.
take a look at the position after ninth move, bishop takes e5. This is the same problem for black now. The f8 bishop cannot move, right? Because even if he plays e6, the g7 would be hanging if the f8 bishop moves.
Right,
So,
right.
so then I think Aronyak also played f6, and I
Yeah,
think
we have
this
some similarity.
yes, and then I think Raja Ritvik also did, and he made his king weak. And as we can see, 11th move, Srinath played bishop b5 check, and Aronyak had to make a very difficult decision of moving the
Moving
king
the
on
king.
f7, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
The king
And then if you
blocks.
come towards the yes, and in general you don't want to do that when the queens are on the board, right? Or when the pieces are there.
Yeah, but
So
it's
we can actually go
inevitable.
for a very nice idea after 15th move bishop h5. So Srinath played a very tricky idea of c4. So I think we can show this to the viewers. So this
Yes.
is initially, it looks like c4 is a blunder because after d takes c4, what Raja Ritvik thought that if Srinath has made a blunder because if the bishop moves, then Srinath is losing the queen, right?
Right.
So, of course, but Srinath had seen a move ahead. He played this brilliant move, bishop g6 check. And the
Correct.
point being is that now Raja Ritvik's queen is hanging and the bishop is hanging. So he will lose one of them, and then he just decided that Srinath would be yes, and of course Srinath would be able to win quite easily after that. So he decided
Yeah,
to
he loses
resign
a
the game.
piece.
So I think it was a it
Nice
was sort of
trick.
a trap, the c4. Nice trick. So because it initially looks like Srinath has made a blunder, but he had very nice trick planned. So I think it was if it was a classical game, then
He would not have.
Ritvik
Yeah.
would have seen it easily. But in a blitz game, this is important, right? So small tricks, and your opponent can overlook and look it, and
Correct.
problems can happen. No,
Right.
very nice game. And by the way, very important to see that Srinath took almost a minute to play the c4 move. So
Ah.
he was trying to. So I think of course he would have calculated it quickly, but he just he made his home sort of calculation and then played it very carefully.
Right. So
Very
I'm now on
interesting.
to the next game, which I finally got, which is
Okay.
Pragnananda versus Seturaman.
Okay, so I have it opened in my side as well. So it started with
Yeah, I have played this
Grunfeld
line myself.
symmetrical. Okay.
So knight
And
e5.
so I think what we can do is since the time is less, we can just quickly go towards the end and see what is going on.
Yeah, let's do
So,
that.
so after 17th move, knight b5, f5.
F5.
So, so I think it's so Niranjan, what do you think? So Pragnananda has sacrificed a pawn, but another question to our viewers. So why has he sacrificed the pawn? He has some compensation for that, and what do you think is the reason for it?
Oh, by
Um,
the way, there
he
is an answer to our
yes.
previous question in the chat.
Okay.
That
All
is
right.
that the position which with double pawns, I think.
Okay. So what is the so let me just see the
So
answer
let's get
because
to
of the
that
A1
game.
at shared diagonal.
So
Okay.
we were
Let's
on
go
the
back.
game.
We were on no we Swayams versus Ajay Kartikeyan.
Correct. Yeah, I got that game. So there is this game, and I'll stop at the moment where we had question. This
C5,
was the
16th move
question.
C5, we asked the question.
So,
So after
so I'll just
16th move C5.
pull the answers. So there are answers. We just have
Okay.
to pick and see if they are right. And let's see. So Avi Kumar has already won. So Irfan
Okay.
Moti is saying white is better because of the C8 bishop.
Okay, it's a good point because C8 bishop is only defending the F5 pawn, right? Okay,
Right.
that's one factor.
Then
So
there's
what
another
else actually?
comment by Bigyan Ghimer. White is better because of two bishops aiming black's king side and double pawn of black.
I agree with him. So I think if we combine the three things, the earlier thing said that C8 bishop is defending the F5 pawns are not that active, white's bishops are active, and black has double pawns, right? So I think the two answer pretty much sums it of what we wanted to
So,
convey,
but who
right?
would
So
we
that is
choose?
the
So we'll
reason why.
choose both the answers.
No, I think we'll choose the second one because he was more to the point. Double pawns he mentioned, right? That's the key thing.
Yes,
So
right.
I would
So
go for the second.
Bigyan,
So
uh,
yes.
Bigyanghimire. I don't know how to pronounce it, but okay, Bigyan Ghimir. Please contact our Facebook Chesscom or Twitter Chesscom India, Facebook Chesscom India or Twitter Chesscom India, and just mention that you have won. So Bigyan Ghimir has won the diamond membership. So just to make it official, I have written it. So you
Oh,
can just
mhm.
contact our team and they will process the diamond membership to you. Congrats. Okay, so let's come back to our
Okay,
game.
let's now. So which
We were
game do you
on
want to see? So time
Seturaman's
chop.
game, right?
Yes, let's go back to Setu Raman's game. So the I think it is towards the end, so we can just so now the thing is that it's Setu Raman is sort of making a comeback, so he is asking tough questions to Pragnananda, like he wants him to prove the compensation because as we have discussed earlier, when you have sacrificed material, the responsibility lies on you to prove it, right? And
Right.
success Seturaman has successfully managed to exchange the queens. Again, the theme we are seeing again, right? You have good material advantage, pawn up, two pawns, so better to exchange the queens, especially in blitz game to avoid counterplay chances, right?
Right.
So, and now I think Seturaman is favorite to win the game. Maybe we can actually go for another game if you are fine with that.
Okay.
So you can choose the game and then I will open it up.
Yeah. So I'm just seeing if there is any other game which or the player we have never covered in the stream so far.
Okay, I think all right, that would be a good thing. So
How
let's
about Gukesh
see.
versus NR Visakh?
Okay, Gukesh we have not covered, so I think it would be a good choice. So let me just give me
Yeah.
a second. I
So
will
Gukesh is
bring. Okay,
playing
I
for
have.
five fighters, team five fighters.
Okay, so I have already opened the game. So I think the last move of Gukesh is because he has played c6. So now Visak has actually a chance to. So I'll not say the move. So maybe if viewers have got some idea, they can suggest the move which Visak can play in this position.
Oh, so there's like a quiz already. So it's
No,
your
not.
turn.
It's like it's for fun actually. It's for fun,
Okay.
more for fun. So it's
So let's
because we
show
want to keep
some
the viewer safe.
like love to all the
So
to our viewers on all the different platforms on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on
okay.
Twitter.
Oh,
So thank
yes.
you, all of you, all those who are watching this in different platforms. It's a really big event, and we are as excited as you. Just wanted to give a shout out to all the viewers. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, so let's get back.
So now, what do you want to do, Niranjan? Do you want to focus a bit more on this game or cover a few others as well?
Uh, yeah, let's go to the next game then. I see
Okay.
two results
So I
already.
think okay, two results. So I think Padmini lost, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
and
Aryan Chopra won against Padmini.
okay.
Okay, there
So
is a
the
game I
Stonewall
have
structure is
on my
okay. Which one you
screen.
have?
Nubair Shah versus Abhijit Gupta.
Let's open that actually. Nubair versus Abhijit Gupta. So, okay, Abhijit's knight has done quite a travel. So it's
Yeah,
on A1, and he's black actually. So it's but I think it is on the danger of getting trapped. So
right.
if we'll see how Nubair responds to it. But one small problem with Nubair's position is that his knight on D7 can also get weaker. By the way, so that's what the
He can
plan of
come to
Abhijit
E5,
is.
right?
Right now, the thing is, if he captures the A1 knight, then he can capture the D7 knight of sort. So I think both of the knight has. So, but it can come to B6 as well. So I think the A1 knight is more vulnerable as compared to the D7 knight, if we call it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it is a very interesting game. So, but Nubair is not making the move. He's under 30 seconds. So I think okay,
Yeah.
he played knight e5. So Abhijit is true to his style, playing quickly, keeping the time advantage, and I think now he'll bring back the knight to c2. So it is attacking the a3 pawn, and I think now the knight is escaping.
The
So
position is like materially equal, and also evaluation I think is equal only.
I think about equal. So,
But
but I
Abhijit
would
has huge time
prefer
advantage.
huge time advantage. So if I had to pick, I would go for Abhijit in this game simply because the huge time gap. So
Okay,
now, if
let's
you
move to the
want, we can
next game.
shift to another game. Okay.
Yes.
So
Let's move to Shyam
let
Sundar's
us.
game.
Okay, Shyam Sundar is playing against
Leon.
Mendonca Leon Liu.
So Leon
So I
is
think
joining us
he's
from Hungary. Is in
Hungary.
Budapest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he was playing a tournament and then this lockdown happened. So I think it's
Yeah.
just checkmate soon. King G5 and F4 checkmate. So this game is as good as over. And
So
of
yeah.
course, to no surprise, Liu played King G5 and it's just over now.
Yeah.
So we can
All
then
right.
because the threat is F4 checkmate. So we
Yeah.
can
Let's
open the game Debashis versus Bhakti. Let's try to see in one game what is going on there. By the way,
Debashish versus Bhakti. Yes. I
Bhakti.
have the game in front of my screen. Yes.
So very interesting game. Bhakti's king is weak, but she's a pawn up, and she
Yeah.
has double bishops. So, but and very correctly, Bhakti has played f6 because now Debashis has nowhere to go with the queen where he is not able to exchange the queens of sort, right?
Right.
So and now the queens are exchanged, so I think it will be very interesting to see how the game goes. It is very complicated,
Yeah. Very
but
complicated. We have
I would
a
still.
knight blockading the isolated queen
Yes.
pawn.
Yes, as we have seen earlier, the isolated pawn you should try to not move it, let it move forward when you're playing against it, right?
Right.
So very interesting. So I think it is a complicated game. So do you want to stick to this game or how
No,
do you
I
want to
just have a
proceed?
question related to this game.
Oh,
Okay, the pawn has been
okay, let's
captured.
do it.
It's like the
No, now
pawn
I think
was.
Debashis is
Yeah.
sorry. Yes, let's continue with your question. So
So we have like three pawn islands here at the moment, and but it's no longer
mhm.
relevant because white has won a piece.
Yes.
The games are going so fast.
So I think the game is over because Bhakti has blundered a piece now.
Yeah.
So maybe we can shift to the Pragnananda versus Seturaman game. It looks very interesting.
Okay, both players are down to 10 seconds.
10 seconds. And it's again the rook end game, right? Likewise we did saw in the Debashis
Yeah,
versus
like
Karthikeyan game.
right.
Okay, very interesting. So, okay, rook f4, a very nice idea, blocking the rook from that f7, f6 pawn, so the queen can be made. And now I think it's a very complicated rook endgame. So, and I would not be surprised if the end result would actually be a draw. So, let's see how it is. So, I think we can now, for the remaining of our time, we can focus on this game. So, I think this and so very important to notice in this, although Pragnananda has been successful in winning the rook, but Seturaman's pawn is very far, so eventually it will be a draw because Pragnananda, yes, will have to give up his rook to stop Seturaman from making the queen.
Yeah, the game is
So,
drawn.
and that's what has happened. So let us take a look at the game Swayams versus Ajay Karthikeyan, which is still going on. So
Okay, Swams versus Ajay Karthikeyan. Okay.
yes. So,
Again,
and
it's like the last stage of the game.
yes, last stage of the game. So let's see what happens. So there is also we have Sri Hari LR versus Surya Shekhar Ganguly. And okay, very interesting game. So I think the Swans game should end in a draw because although Black is pawn up, but his king cannot enter, right? So, but still, I think his pawns are on. Let's see, it's an interesting game. I'm not exactly sure about the result, but still, I would feel a draw would be a fair result because the pass pawn is blocked and the king cannot enter. So, I think the game
Okay.
would be drawn.
Yes, Chess for Fun. We will respond to you once the broadcast is over because we have very few members working on a lot of things. So once the show is over, we will get back to you and your diamond membership will be done. That was a message I responded to a chat
Okay,
message.
all right. So now let us actually go for the game against Surya Shekhar Ganguly versus Sri Hariyala. So
Okay, Aniket,
Swayam's
we
game
have a
should end in a
question for
draw.
you.
Okay, yes, please.
Johan Boricha is asking which team will
Mhm.
win this tournament according to you. So it's directly asking you who.
According to
Yeah,
okay, directly asking me. Okay, it's um I would go with Chess Gurukul. That's what my
Chess Gurukul. Okay.
yes.
So Johan, he has answered your question. Chess Gurukul, of course, it's the strongest team in this event. Okay, so you were saying that you were about to watch a game. Which game was it?
I think now the Sureshika Ganguly game is over. It was also a rook end game, but he very swiftly converted into a win. So again, very nice technique as we have seen in his most of his games, right? So
Right.
now still the Swayam's Mishra game is still going on. So let's see what is happening there. So if it is since it is the last game, let's focus there now. So Ajay Karthikeyan has gone for this king and pawn ending where he's winning the a2 pawn.
But
But
will he
the thing
get
is,
stuck?
it will get stuck and it will end in a draw. So very important, although you have extra material, but king activity plays a crucial role in converting the material advantage into a win, right? So
Yes.
I think the game would end in a eventually in a stalemate. So it is, I think, a very instructive game in the end. I think Swams calculated all this and he went for
Yeah.
this. So
So I think with
so
that we
it's
have finished all the games, right?
yes, I think all the games have been finished. So let's take a look at the results. So
Yeah, the
like
standings
since
are
nine
up.
rounds are there, so I think one third of the tournament is already over. So
Right. Super Kids
and
is
we
still
have
leading with nine
okay, uh-huh,
points, and they are closely
9
followed
points.
by Chess Gurukul and Chikichitas.
Oh, okay, very interesting. So just a half a point gap between. So I think again I would Cheeky Cheetahs, right? The rating average is quite low, but very underrated and strong young players. So
So we
they are
just
still
got
in the
another
fray for
update.
the super finals. Uh-huh.
Right.
Mm,
Just another update that now it is Desi Boys who is leading the scoreboard.
by the way, okay, Desi boys. So I think so. What was the score, by the way? Did they win all of the games in this round? How was it? They were on 5 points the round before.
Let's check. We
So
had Rahil Mulik, Tanya Sestev, then Abhijit Gupta, Debashish Das in their team.
okay, so do you have the individual results of these guys?
I can see that um, Debashish has won his game against
Okay, the Bashis
Bhakti.
as well. Yes, yes, we saw that. All right. So
Then I can see that
then
Abhijit Gupta won against Nubair.
okay, then we have. So it might be that. So to lead, they will. So since they were on 5 points, and to lead, they will need to score 4.5 or 5 points to. I mean to get to the first place actually. So
Right.
they actually made a very. And I can see the. So Desi boys, Nubair. So Debash is one, and then we'll see. Actually, I think once the individual result, but it is just to show that since match points are not there, but game points are there. So if some teams wins like 4-1 or 4.5, then it can still it can make a comeback. So even
Right.
right now, the standings can change drastically. So
Right.
the top two spots this for super final. So Desi boys are around 9 points. So they scored 4 points actually in this 4-1.
Yes.
So, so I
So
think
I think
it's
we can like probably it's the time for a short break because we will probably have another guest joining the show, a surprise guest.
okay. Sure. Okay.
Then before we move, I would like to ask a question and then leave so that the viewers can answer this while on the break. So do you, Ankit, do you want to have ask a question to the viewers?
I think I asked about that Swayam's game, right? So I think
Yeah,
it would be
okay.
better if you do now.
All right.
So,
So now I will ask a question. This is again coming from my show, the Chessophile show. Who is the second Grandmaster from India? Leave your answers. The first person to get that would get the diamond membership. Bonus point if you get all the top three Grandmasters in the order correctly. We will be back in this first uh, let's say we will be back again in this Sukooon Resort first Indian Chess.com league after a short break.
yeah.
Hello all, I am FIDE Master S. Rishpal Singh, a founder member of Maestro Chess Academy. Will briefly share a little background of our chess academy. Our father Bishan Singh Ji was a prominent chess player, coach, national arbiter, and organizer. To promote any sport, one has to be passionate about it, and passion for the game of chess came naturally to our father. We siblings are taking his legacy forward. Me and Amit Pal Singh are passionate chess players based out of Hyderabad. 8 years ago, we got a thought it is a time to give back to this beautiful game. The idea of establishing the academy to help the youth chess players popped up in 2012. Currently, due to this pandemic, people across the globe have explored things which were never explored, like regular schools transformed to online classes, and similarly, regular chess classes to online chess classes. So now the missing entity was quality online chess tournaments, which we believe is all set to be filled by the introduction of Indian Chess League. The moment we saw the names of Priyadarshan, Niranjan, and Rakesh, we made up our mind to be part of this exciting tournament. We have been seeing them since ages, and we know how passionate chess players they are. All the best to all the participants and the dynamic organizers of ICL.
Welcome back. You are watching Sukooon Resort first Indian Chess.com League with broadcast sponsor being Desi Boys in round 4 already. We are already in the fourth round and the games have started. So just let's just take a look at the games. Ankit, I'm leaving the choice to you now. So which game would you like to start with?
So let us start with Arvind Chidambaram versus Puranik Abhimanyu. Because, and by the way, one thing I want to tell you, Chess Gurukul is playing against Cheeky Cheetahs. So it's like, it will be very interesting to see how that goes. So let us start
Right.
with that top board, that is Arvind versus Abhimanyu. So,
So we have got a huge raid. Just want to know that we have
okay.
185 viewers. We have got a huge raid. So thank you. Uh, we are in the first Sukooon Resort Indian Chess.com League. And with me, there is Grandmaster Ankit Rajpara doing the commentary with me here. All right.
Okay, so once you have opened up the game, just let me know.
Yeah. I think the games are live. Yes, I have the games open. So, which game would you start?
Arvind versus Abhimanyu.
Arvind versus Abhimanyu. Okay. So, I want to know who actually raided so that we could thank the raider. So, I've just sent a message to my team. Meanwhile, there have been answers to the questions I posed, the question I posed before the break. Yeah, there have been answers. I'm leaving it to the team to check up as to who has answered it correctly. I see Avi Kumar has answered, but Avi Kumar has already won for the day. Okay, we are not sure who exactly has rated it, but thank you, a big thank you to you for reading. All right, so let's get to the game. It's Abhimanyu Puranik, black versus Arvind Chidambaram, who's playing white, and it's like as Ankit mentioned, Chess Gurukul versus Cheeky Cheetahs.
Yes.
Oh, I already see some action happening. Knight is on e6.
Yes, so by the way, very important to show to the viewers. So after h6, so it's I would say that so Arvind has played knight e6 after 14th move h6. So viewers can actually take a pause and think about why he played that move, as to increase their understanding. And once they have done for some time, then maybe we can explain it a bit more.
Yeah. I'm told that there is a special guest joining us. So we will
Okay.
have to take a short break and we'll come back with the special guest.
Okay, sure.
All right. We'll come with the. Okay, so we are back. We are joined by a very special guest, leading stand-up comedian Manoj Prabhakar, and we also have League Commissioner of the Sukooon Resort Indian Chess.com League, Grandmaster Priyadarshan. Welcome to both of you.
Hello, Niranjan.
Hello, hi Niranjan.
Hello.
Hi.
So it's a great thing that you agreed to come to this chess event, Manoj.
No,
Priyadarshan told me that we both also have Velamal in common. We both have studied there.
yeah, nice to know. And thank you so much to Priyadarshan for calling me. It's my pleasure to get associated with top level players like you. No, otherwise, my chess game is definitely not going to bring me to you guys. At least through this way, I got this chance to have a conversation with you guys. So it's nice. Thank you so much.
A pleasure is ours.
I used to
Oh.
tell Manoj. Yeah, I used to tell Manoj. I Manoj, like after games, if we lose, I generally like used to see his comedy. So I do have a connection with him on chess that way.
Thank
So
you, thank you,
yeah.
Priyadarshan.
When I got to know that you will be there, actually, I had seen your video. To the viewers, Manoj Prabhakar has a lot of views, especially for his stand up comedy. I saw his video on Chetan Bhagat's books, which I think is a must watch. And then I got to know, okay, you're the same person.
Oh, okay. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. So, like, how is the tournament going? So, what's the idea behind this?
I think our league commissioner Pridarshan will elaborate on that.
Yeah, so Manoj, so basically the idea of this is like India has never had a chess league on its own. I mean, there are countries like Germany and France. A lot of European countries have a chess league. So we thought we will put it together. I mean, there was always this idea or talk of a chess league, but we thought this was a very perfect time because a lot of the players are right now sitting at home, but chess is a sport you can play from anywhere.
Correct.
So we thought, and also we'll just put this together, and all the players cooperated. So our vision of this is, as long as lockdown is there, I think we can, like, if this is a successful edition, we will host other editions. After that, it will be based on scheduling. Right now, it's very easy because there's less scheduling conflicts because chess players generally travel the whole time and play. But as everyone is sitting at home, it was very easy for us to schedule this tournament. So that's the basic vision, to have a platform where all the Indian chess players, and the good thing about this is we also have one slot compulsory for an under 16 player. So
Oh,
the youngsters also gets to, like play against the experienced players in
and,
one way or another.
and in India, already few under 16 players are already grandmasters, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
So,
So they are the experienced players here. When they play the elders here.
nice.
So Manoj, how did you get into chess? Like, or like, was it like a long time you knew about chess, or was it very
No. Like, generally, I follow sports. Like, I am a sports lover, and for the past 2 months, there have been no live sporting action. Generally, even if I don't follow all the sports very keenly, I just try to keep myself updated about what's happening. Even so, chess was also there. Like, I generally follow cricket, football, chess, and during this lockdown. Chess tournament was the only online sporting event that was happening across the world. Like, no other sports was happening, so like, obviously you tend to pay more attention. I was keenly watching that Nations Cup that was happening like last week, I guess. And even before that, that Magnus Invitational tournament was happening. So I was following all those.
So
Otherwise
you know
also, I
quite.
yeah, otherwise also I just try to keep myself updated with what is happening, who is the, I mean, all the major events about chess at least. So I am kind of into chess.
So what was the first moment which like they say, the first moment you fall in love. So what was your first moment, that connection with chess? What was that moment?
I- just like almost all the grandmasters here, like, your someone from your family would have taught you the basic moves, right? How the pawn moves, how the rook moves. So actually, I guess my mother taught me all those things. So I used to play chess as a kid with my mother and friends. And then, of course, I studied in Velamal. Velamal has a very good chess culture. And
Right.
Vishnu Prasanna, Grandmaster, he was from Velamal. He was from the same batch as mine. But I
Oh,
guess
okay.
he studied there for just 1 year, but I don't know him that much personally, and I don't think he will also remember me. But I know that he is from Velamal, and I have seen him in the school. We were from the same batch. So Velamal, our school used to conduct a lot of tournaments, national level tournaments and state level tournaments. So I used to go and watch them personally after school. I'll go to the auditorium where they conduct the matches, and I used to go and watch. So then, after, but dedicating time and playing and becoming a professional is a different thing, right? So
Correct. Yeah.
life had other choices, so I had to study, I had to work. But all that, I was always getting updated with what was happening, though I was not an active player, or not at the highest level at least. But I was always try to keep myself updated about what's happening.
Uh huh. So that tells me that you know the basics of chess. You follow the top level games. So you know quite
Yeah,
a lot already.
I know the moves, the opening names like King's Gambit, Queen's Gambit, all those things, the different names. So all those things I know, but I don't remember like all the lines exactly. But I kind of know overall, and yeah, I'm not too good, but not that bad also. Like, I mean, at least theoretically I'm not that bad. Practically I'm very bad, but theoretically I know something.
Okay, so we are joined by a lot of people. There's one user called Baslia Baslia. Welcome Baslia. All right, Manoj Prabhakar. Yes. So there's one question, but before
Yeah.
we go into that, I want to know: have you ever thought of combining chess elements in your comedy
Yeah.
shows, like in your comedy stand-up?
Yeah, I actually did some few jokes about chess long time back, but later I found that was not that logical, so I dropped doing that. Uh,
Uh huh.
because comedy has to be, if it is funny, it has to be very true also. So I remember writing few jokes about cricket, chess, sports in general,
Uh
and
huh.
then I stopped doing those jokes. That was long back, like 3 4 years back.
Uh-huh. So
Uh,
this is like, let's say, a right mix of chess players and also stand-up comedians being involved. We as chess players, check our opponent's games prior to the game and just check where is going, what is doing, and then prepare accordingly. What is your preparation in your profession? Like, how does it work there?
Uh, just like any other profession, is just practice and keeping at it, keep doing it, regularly. Just like how you remember all the moves and lines by playing it regularly, right? Like we also, do it regularly, getting on stage. Just like how you play more games to get that position to perfection. Similarly, we also get on stage as much as we can, do the jokes and get it to perfection.
Right, both
But
are performances, but here when you are practicing a joke, you don't really have spectators or audience at home, right? How will you know whether the joke is a hit or not?
That's just what to say. Like it's kind of mix of both. You finally, with experience, you will know this will work, this won't work. So that comes with the experience. If you're
Yes,
a beginner, like I guess this principle applies for anything in life in general. Like the more you do with something, the better you
yes,
get at it. So
yes. Yeah, you're right.
So Manoj, are you rooting for Vishnu's team here? I mean, you must be knowing Vishnu is one of the team captains
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Five
So
fighters.
Yeah.
okay, nice. So I don't know who plays for which team. I need to check all those things.
So like
So
in Indian chess, like I mean, I'm pretty sure you have followed a lot of these young players and all their achievements. So I mean, and also in general, I was curious to know because a lot of comedians are now like playing these charity matches. So ready to get in touch with them. Like why? Like did you talk to them about how their experiences were? I'm pretty sure some of those comedians were your friends too, right?
yeah, I know Samai. Samai actually is the one who started all these things. Yesterday also he did a charity stream, and even last week even Anand sir came and participated
Correct.
in.
Correct.
So So I think he now has gone into a larger scale. I think he started just for fun, and then and so nice of all the grandmaster players like Vidit and Adiban and all to come and join. So uh, I hope that grows for the greater good. And I'm sure many new. If you go and see the comments of all the streams, many people are coming and thanking, saying that thank you for introducing me, or
Yes.
I started playing after watching the stream. So that is there, so which is actually good for the game.
Yes, it's good for the game overall, and we are very happy that chess is booming. So, do you
Yeah.
also play online?
Like I have an app on my phone, chess app. I don't know what is the rating of that, but I always try to lose. I mean, I end up losing with that app. I guess it's quite stronger. So I actually played my first chess.com game with Priyadarshan recently, and I
Uh-huh.
I resigned in 14th move. So
Yeah. You are being very humble with all that you know already. I mean,
no,
it's very
no,
clear that you
no,
know quite a
actually,
lot. I
no,
mean, when it
I
comes to basics, you know the basics well.
yeah, I'm trying to learn, and now I try to watch a lot of games. I don't analyze, but see, the one thing that really interests me about chess is, right, the way the moves are made. It's like watching Sachin straight drive. You can't do that, but it is nice to watch, right?
Right.
So like I can't think of that move, but they are thinking about that move and doing something. I think
Yeah.
chess is like time travel, I guess. No, people are always in the
Wow.
future.
Yeah.
They are thinking 4 5 moves ahead. Like it's brilliant. So
Yeah, that's a nice quote actually. Chess is like time travel. I used to say in meetings or whenever I meet that chess is a meditation. Yes, but yeah, chess is also like time travel. You're
yeah,
right.
like players are always ahead. Like they don't think for the next move. They think for like 5 6 moves ahead. So that's really amazing. I really want to know how. So I see one thing, one genuine doubt I have. Okay, like whenever I am playing, I always where I am getting stuck is like I don't know what to play. How I know how to play, but I don't know what to play. What's the right move? How do you guys think, or how do you guys calculate, or how do you guys analyze? Okay, this is what is the right decision. This is the move I have to make now. So what?
The solution you said about like jokes, like how you kind of have gut feeling, which clicks, which doesn't. I mean, so basically we call it intuition in chess quite a bit. So we
Okay.
kind of force ourselves to, like, naturally a move occurs to us as the first feeling. So we generally give more preference or more calculation to that move, and then we calculate that, and that intuition is developed as more and more patterns and the things that you learn. So that's how it actually works.
So, like, I'm sure every game at the highest level is a different game, right? For at least for first 8 to 10 moves might be same, but beyond that, so I'm just curious to know: will there be two similar games at the highest level played at some point, like, or the players will already know that okay, this game is already played, so this move is already played, so I have to. So, like, will there be two same games?
Niranjan, you want to answer
Definitely.
that?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. There will be a possibility because both players may have seen the same game, and let's say the player with the white usually tries to deviate, but there are a lot of exceptions. The reason
Okay.
being that the player with the black pieces will try to like equalize, and the player with the white pieces usually tries to play for an advantage. But when
Okay.
they reach a point where the theory, where whatever they know is according to their personal preferences, they will try and play that. If it is not, then they will try and come up with a novelty or a new move, like you come up with a new joke because the public already knows about this, or that public has already attended your show somewhere else.
Correct.
So
Correct.
you pull the different set of jokes to them. Similarly, the players at the very top level, they are known for coming up with great novelties.
Oh, nice.
But that's
So,
also a possibility. I fully agree that they may have played the same game, despite knowing that the game has already been played, sometimes by choice and sometimes it just happens.
Novelty is like finding a new move in the.
Right.
Oh, okay, nice.
Novelty is like the new move. Right.
So like I just want to know how much preparation you will make. Like say for example, anyways for any game, a player will be ready to. They know what opening they are going to play.
Right.
Say E4, D4, or whatever it is, they will know this is the opening I'm going to play, and they will also be prepared for the lines, whatever the opponent is going to, what kind of defense they will use. So until what depth you will be prepared, and at what moment it becomes instinct, or at what moment it will become on the spot.
So it becomes a combination of how well prepared they are on that specific line. In top level, the depth keeps going higher and higher. So even top level, you may have even the first 35 moves prepared. Like
Yeah.
you start the game only after 35th. The novelty will be in like 36th move. So
Oh,
that kind of depth of preparation is there. In lower, like beginner, starting level, amateur games, the depth will end in maybe move 4, move 5. That's where the depth ends. And and even if a top player is like he gets out of his preparation very early in the game, let's say move 8, move 9, he will still have the the general opening principles and guidelines. Those things will help him to navigate as much as him or her to navigate as much as possible to a safe position. So yeah,
oh.
that's how the strong players handle those kind of issues. Yeah.
But there are some games which end in 15, 16. Like recently, I remember one game where Anand was playing in the Nations Cup. He won a game in 17 moves, right?
Yeah.
Against a German player.
No, he beat
Ah,
Nepomniachtchi
never.
from Russia.
Sorry, Russia. Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was brilliant. And I was watching that interview where after the interview you said he prepared that line 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So like,
Yes.
does that take so much time to implement an idea that you created? Like, does it take so long?
It's like you know how it works in let's say in a different way in espionage, where you have a lot of contacts but you use them only when necessary. You have contacts, you have people there working for you, but you may use it only when needed. So accordingly we have different sets of novelties in our arsenal, and we use them only when there is a chance. And sometimes I have seen that grandmasters even making a choice as to whether this game is worth revealing a novelty. So it is like that. So sometimes the novelty that you prepare, let's say in 2010, it can help you in 2020. So that is the reason why some novelties don't come up, because we feel they are not right moments, or sometimes they may not get an opportunity. It's like, let's say you play first move e4 in front of the king, you move 2 steps, and if the opponent plays let's say Sicilian, but we have a novelty prepared for him in Sicilian, but let's say on that particular day he doesn't play Sicilian and responds to something else, he moves his knight on the first move, let's say, that
Oh,
way. I have been told that Vishnu Prasanna is in the chat, so if you have a message for him, please convey your message here.
I don't think he will remember me, but anyways, all the best to him. I hope I'll talk to him someday. Let's
Yes,
see.
yes, the chat or meet the will, it will complete. I mean, it will immediately
He's
happen, I think, after the
he's not
show.
playing now.
He's playing. We are
They're
on a
right on a
break.
break. Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
players are on like a few minutes break right now. The next final
So
round starts in 4 minutes from now, the fifth
okay,
round.
so I just want to know the format, like 10-minute games, right? Every game is a 10-minute one.
Right.
So
10
like
plus 2.
it's a
Like 2
round robin.
seconds.
It's a round robin where all 10 teams will play against each other. Other nine
Correct,
teams.
correct.
Okay, and every player from each team will play with other player one player at a time, or
It's like, yeah, there are 5 players, 5 boards. The first player will
okay,
play the first player of the opposing team. The board orders are decided in advance. So it's like
okay,
one round in which the first player will play the first player. So 5 players will play the 5 players of the opposing team.
okay.
And
So,
then next pairing.
yeah.
Then they play a different team.
Oh, nice, nice.
So
And
Manoj, like
as
in chess, I have a question for you. In chess, we say tactical player, positional player. In stand-up, like what is there like different genres? Like how do stand-up like is there a
there,
separate thing?
there are no rules for stand up because
Okay.
yeah, to be very honest, you if you think you are funny, if you are ready to work hard, then you can easily become. There are no ground rules like this is what. Even you take the most successful stand-up comics, say for example Russell Peters, who have been doing for 30 years and is one of the top level comics.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you ask him, he also will say, I don't know what is the formula for success. There is no line or there is no preparation for comedy. It's just like but there are some things like, there are some things which you can learn by doing regularly. You will understand it yourself, like what works for you. Because chess is like, it has common rules for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to play within under that rules, right? But stand up is an individual art form where it reflects on how you consume it and how you are trying to portray something. It's mostly observational, right? Like whatever comics have to see what other people don't see, just like chess. As an audience, I don't see a move but the player sees it, right? Like, so it's exactly. And I like the way how you are explaining through comedy and I am trying to explaining comedy through chess. This is so
Yes.
nice. Amazing. And
Yeah.
and
So yes,
I
go ahead.
really, I really don't know. Like, I was talking to Priyadarshan, I guess yesterday or day before yesterday. He was telling there are only 1,800 grandmasters in the history of chess. I was totally surprised because there are so many people playing, and that also tells how difficult it is to become a grandmaster, right? Like,
True.
man, that's so amazing. You know, total respect for you guys for all the hard work you put.
The same goes
So
from our side. You are doing a great job, making people laugh, which
Yeah.
is, let's say, a cure for a lot of people. As they say, laughter is a very good therapy. So, all kudos to you also for doing an amazing job. And I feel very proud that, you are from Velamal and you're doing it.
Yeah, one thing that connects.
all
Yes,
three of us.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So it
So the
was
final round games are just starting off. Final
uh,
round
I
of today.
I think we can watch some games. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
Niranjan.
I will also try to analyze,
Yeah.
and at
All
least I'll
right.
pretend to analyze.
Okay.
Oh man, this rating itself is giving me a heart attack. 2,500. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So the games are just now starting, and let's
Okay.
I
not all
have
the games have started.
I have one more doubt. So when you're beginning, what is the beginning rating of someone who is just starting out? Like it's 1,000. Chess.com gives 1,000 rating, right? Just like that. So in the beginning, a player, what's the rating they get?
In the beginning, the rating they get is in FIDE. I think it's 1200.
Oh, like what is, so you have to just play some tournament under FIDE so
It's
that
like,
you will
yeah,
get.
you have to play a tournament which is conducted by, let's say, a federation and authorized by World Federation, which is FIDE. And if it's done, then whatever you do, like whatever game you win, your results are all connected to the FIDE database. And there is a let's say a prerequisite that you must play against a particular number of players and then you get the rating.
Niranjan, Manoj knows even how grandmaster norms are made, so you don't have to actually
Ah,
simplify
so he
it.
knows it. Okay, I
Yeah.
have got
No,
a
no, like,
message, brother, that are you all Tamil? Yeah, I can
yeah, I
speak
am
Tamil.
from Chennai.
Priyadarshan can speak Tamil.
Speak Tamil, yeah, very much.
But
Yeah, but this
since
is
we
an
are
Indian
on
commentary show. This is an
yeah,
Indian league, so we are forced to talk in
in
English.
English, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Here we speak the language of chess, so it's okay.
right, right.
Yes. So, Niranjan, which game are we going to be analyzing? As all the games have started, as you can pick one, and then we can just like look at it on our
All
systems.
right, I think
Yeah.
the games are loading.
So, Manoj, you can just open that game, whichever Niranjan says, and then we can start discussing it. I think that's how the stream is going to work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm actually watching it on chess.tv, or you're
Okay.
sharing
Yeah.
it here
I
on.
think that also works. I think that also works
that
good. Yeah.
works. I
You
think
just
that is better. So let us see the game. Very important clash between Nihal Sarin and Arvind Chidambaram.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm sure you have heard of both the players, right, Manoj?
Yeah, I know Nihal. I have seen him in the other streams also. I have seen few matches also about of him.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. So Arvind is like multiple time national champion of India. I think he's also the only person to win all three formats. So classical, rapid, and blitz. So
So okay, I was always curious to know what is the difference between all these. Classical is like the 2 hour format, right?
yes.
And what is the difference between rapid and blitz
So
timing?
rapid is like the one that we are currently hosting, which is like around the game will end in maximum 30 minutes, the total game. Somewhere around
Oh,
30 minutes to 1 hour, you can call it rapid. And blitz is generally like 10 minutes or lower.
oh, like the beginning time itself is 3 minutes, right? In blitz.
In blitz, 3 minutes plus 2 seconds or 5 minutes with no zero increment, something
Oh,
like
there is
that.
no particular standard for every tournament. It will differ.
There are certain standard times, like I mean, most organizers stick to it. For example, in classical, most games start with 90 minutes with a 30-second increment for every move.
Uh,
And in rapid, generally, it's like 25 minutes with like 10 seconds increment. But there are always experimentation. Like the time control we are using here is not a very common one, 10 minutes with 2 seconds increment.
oh,
It is only played in like certain, and then there is something called a bullet, which is where the game ends less than 2 minutes, like 1 minute each side. And then we have something called hyper bullet, which is less than 1 minute, the whole game will end.
oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay, cool, cool,
yeah,
nice. Yeah, we
yeah.
can go ahead and see
And
some
look at the
games.
game. Yes, which game are we talking about, Niranjan?
Nihal
I
Nihal
just
versus
want to
is.
Aravind.
make a correction.
Yeah.
Actually, its FIDE starting is 1000, not 1200.
Oh, okay. And anybody can go and register, right? Like,
Like they
Yes.
can play, like anybody can start playing, and if you score against rated players, then yes, you can get
oh,
the
okay,
rating.
your career begins.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so let's go to the game.
Yes.
Nihal is playing white, right?
Yes.
Nihal is
Arvind.
white, right?
Okay, so it's Nihal's move. Okay, let me guess the move. Or if I was there, what I will play. I think it's equal right now, right? The material is also equal. Three. Okay, I think he's one
Yes.
pawn. He's Nihal is pawn down. Okay.
Yeah, Nihal is pawn down. Just for your information, brother, this pawn on e6 and pawn on e5, if they are like that on the straight line, we call them double
Yeah,
pawns.
yeah, double pawns. Yeah, yeah.
You knew this,
It,
huh?
that is not a good thing, right? Like,
That is like subjective. I mean, chess is so vast,
uh,
it's difficult to determine
sometimes
what is.
in the end game, it might help to queen the pawn, right? Like, because you have only one pawn to overcome in the end game, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it works both ways. Like double pawns can be good, they can be bad, they can also
Okay.
be ugly, and they can be a boon. So it depends on position to position.
Okay. So Arvind's queen is targeting king at g1.
More importantly, it's kind of targeting the b2 pawn. That's the key. Some when the queen goes to b6, I think we are on all on the same page. Has Aravind played queen b6, right, Niranjan? On the
The last move was knight f3, I think.
yeah, now queen b6, knight f3. So Aravind was threatening to take the pawn on b2, and then Nihal stopped it by going knight f3,
So it's supporting.
the b2 pawn.
Okay, and he has played queen e2.
Yes, the queen is on e2, so it is defending the. Oh, so actually, I think maybe there is a slight lag on your side in the sense like on chess.com TV due to the streaming, but I think we'll catch up on pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So right now, yeah, queen e2, rook a d8 is what I think maybe you would have seen. You would be seeing on your screen.
Yeah, I saw rook d1 from Nihal.
Yes. So we are slightly off by like 5 seconds on the live stream, but I think it's all good. Yeah.
FM,
So
GM, which one higher? I think, yeah, I will answer this question.
I can answer. Grandmaster is the highest level,
Correct,
right?
correct. Yes, yes.
You
Grandmaster
got
is the
1
highest.
point.
IM is international. IM is international master. FM is like I don't know the expansion for it, but
FM
It's
is FIDE
called,
master.
yes.
FIDE master. Okay, FIDE master, international master, and then grandmaster, right?
Correct,
Yes.
yes.
There is
Oh,
one title called Candidate Master also now, which is one like level below FIDE Master, but it's not as widely used. Generally, FIDE Master, International Master, Grand Master, the widely
Yeah,
used levels. Yeah.
so you have to get norms for each title, right? For
correct.
FM.
For FM, you need to cross 2300.
Oh, if you cross 2300, that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. But there are also other criterias, like maybe if you win a particular event, you get FM title. That is also there.
Oh, okay. Oh, you play the tournament for the title. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Like,
For
for example,
example,
if you win the Asian under 18, I think you get a Grandmaster norm
and
directly.
IM title also.
So I am always I always see news like people getting grandmaster at very young age, right? 11 years, 12-year-old. Any idea who's the oldest person to get a grandmaster title?
I
Oldest
think I
person.
kind of know. I mean, I think there are two candidates. There's one Grandmaster from Georgia who I think got his title around the age of 40, somewhere around that. The another
Oh,
Grandmaster I know is Grandmaster Ben Feingold from USA. He also got his title like in his early 40s or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So, like not 40s, maybe 35, 36, if I'm not
Uh-huh.
wrong. Yeah. I
So
think
I
those.
could put this question in my Chesophile show, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
please.
Niranjan hosts a show called Chesophile, so
Oh,
I
well.
think that's a good question for him.
Yeah, it's more like a Q&A related to chess.
Oh, where do you do that? I'll try to follow that.
I do on YouTube and Twitch.
Oh, nice, nice.
So
I'll
my channel only Niranjan Navalkun. That is the name of the channel.
sure, sure. I'll try to follow.
Now
And
I
yeah,
have got a
and
comment that
yes,
we could consider watching the game of Akansha. There is something happening in the game. Something like a lot of action
okay,
is happening.
exciting. Okay, let's go to that game. I was also trying to find that game, but for some reason, I wasn't able to spot it. Hopefully,
Yeah, it's like many games are live. It's hard
and
to
as this is
pick.
the last game of the day, all players would be like fully energized. They'd be like, "Yeah, I'm done for the day, and I want to like go rest." So they'd be fully putting their full energy today to play this round. So,
So
which game are we talking about,
we can continue
Niranjan?
with this game because I have not got the
Okay, so
game
we are
of,
talking about Nihal Sarin's game still,
yeah,
right?
Nihal Sarin's game. So we will
So,
let Manoj talk about
yeah,
this
you can
question. Let's
explain.
hear his
Yeah,
thoughts.
yes.
Anna, you can
Okay,
share your
so
thoughts, whatever you feel.
okay, so okay, some material has been exchanged, right? No, or is it saying?
There are four minor pieces, like two minor pieces each. Black has two minor pieces, white has two minor pieces. Then there are major pieces. All the major pieces are on the board. Two rooks and queen.
Yeah, like they just exchanged a bishop and a knight, right?
Yes,
That's
more or
all.
less all the other pieces are as they are on the board.
Uh, and what? And a pawn. That's all.
So
Yeah.
I've got a message from the chat from Krishna Prasad V saying that Fine Gold was 20 when he got IM,
Oh,
40
yeah.
when he was a GM, and he says he will be world champion by 40, by 60.
No, I think I do know who. No, actually, I think I do know who is this world's oldest GM because there's a tournament called World Senior Championship, which is
Correct?
for senior citizens, and if you win that tournament, you get a Grandmaster title directly.
Uh-huh, okay.
So Grandmaster Larry Kaufman is a grand. I mean, he's a Grandmaster from USA. I think he got his title at 60. I think he became a GM at 60. Yeah, by
So
winning that tournament.
it's never too late.
Yeah, you can become a world senior champion and like fulfill your Grandmaster ambitions. Yeah.
So I have this question. Okay, like how come kids who are very young, like 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, how come their brain is working this strong to say for example in our country we have Pragnananda who got like youngest grandmaster, right? He's
Right.
India's youngest grandmaster, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So like what do you guys think as professional chess players? What do you guys think that for a 12-year-old to think this much and you know like how they are different from other people? Are they naturally talented or what is the science behind it? I'm just curious.
Okay. In Pragnananda's case, I was there, while he was let's say, while he was 5 years old. I was studying in Velamal, and I
Oh,
used to see him because Vaishali was also in Velamal. So I used to see him. I used to enter his name in the sheet while we were sending his name for tournaments, and that is the time I saw him. He was very interested from the very beginning. That is the first point, that he was very interested. But I
okay.
don't think talent alone has got him here. He did work hard in those years. When there is interest and then there is hard work, that culminates into something very good. So that is the point, I think, in case of Pragnananda. Also, in my personal experience, I have found that when you are young, you have very less thoughts, very less to focus. You only have a board to focus, and a lot of other things are eliminated by default. So that is
Okay, okay.
one thing minus, like for those who are in, let's say, early teen. That is also another point. So I think these are the two factors, in my opinion. We can also ask what Priyadarshan thinks.
Yes, so I kind of agree with what Niranjan said, and also I think it is way more competitive than ever before on history of chess. I mean, it's the same for everything. The competition aspect has just become so much that players are starting younger. So, like when I started the age of like six and a half, seven. That time, the only world championship was like I think world under 10. Now I think there's world under five championship, if I'm not mistaken. So the things have become so competitive that and also access to a lot of this content. For example, now you are sitting in a different location. I'm sitting here. You are able to play chess or watch chess at the same time. If we talk about, let's say, like around 11, 12 years ago, it was still there. I mean, the internet was still around. I mean, in 2008, 2009, but still, it was not this prevalent of access for material for a lot of players compared to now. And also now players have access because government is also supporting a lot for Indian chess and things like that. So players also have access to travel and play abroad. Main thing is traveling abroad and playing. If you take, like, let's say Pragnananda's case, I'm pretty sure by now his passport would have at least 45 to 50 countries stamped. Playing chess. So that's, I think, very important. Traveling and playing against strong opponents.
Nice. And one more thing, like I read somewhere, I don't know if this is true or not. I read somewhere that Carlson, he remembers like more than 10,000 games, every single move he knows. So, do we really need to know so much amount of information to play a game, or should we approach every game as a fresh one, or like, is it like, is that much of memory? Is it really needed to be a champion at the top level?
Memory is by default, in chess, if you go by the statistics, of course, if you have a very strong memory, it helps you make decisions quickly. But considering the practicality, I don't think we need to remember all the games while we are playing. But by what I mean, this Magnus Carlsen episode, what it means is that he has all those patterns stored. It's not necessary that he remembers all specifics, but in Magnus' case particularly, he is extraordinarily strong. Like um, like I haven't seen anybody as strong as him when it comes to memory. Like he can tell where this move was played and so on, all those
I mean, we
details.
call it like genius, right? Like
Yeah, he
Mozart,
is like a different
Beethoven.
level.
That's like a one in like one of those rarest players, or like by accident he got into chess. These like players whom, if he had gone into any other field, also would have excelled. Like he was leading. I don't know if you would believe this. There was some sort of a fantasy football, which is a very big thing in Europe, and he was like in the top 10 of that in fantasy football all over Europe.
So basically, he is using his memory skills in chess to the fullest potential, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
So
question
basically,
coming up in the chat every now and then, that your name is like there is also cricketer with your name. Do you know about this? This is the
yeah,
question.
I know. Like he was an all rounder, right, from Mumbai, or was from Uttar Pradesh, I guess. Yeah, Manoj Prabhakar. He was an all
Yes.
rounder. I know, I know. I follow almost all sports very actively, so I know names, but I'm bad at most of it. But uh, but theoretically, at least I try to keep in touch, just like chess.
Okay. And so you do have like a show coming up today, right? I think you have some, like in general, if
Yeah,
audience want to see your shows, where should they go find it? Be great, like, so that they can also, have the
yeah,
joy of
like
watching your commentary. Yeah.
yeah. Right now, since this is a lockdown period, we also started trying doing Zoom shows where
Okay.
people come and buy tickets and come and watch. So we are just doing it on an experimental basis. I don't know how much it's going to. I don't know if that will be the future, or we don't. We have no clue. We are just trying it out, but let's see.
Uh-huh.
So they can follow me on my social media handles. I'm sorry to shamelessly promote myself here, but
No,
Oh, go
it's
on, go on. It's
go
okay.
ahead.
it's just P Manoj Prabhakar. The same handle I have it on my chess.com ID also. If they want, they can come and play a game with me so that I will improve.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
P.
everyone
Manoj Prabhakar. That is the
note
handle.
that carefully. Note that carefully, everyone. Send him challenge and friend requests.
Sure, sure. I will definitely. No, I was talking to Priyadarshan. I was so much into chess in the past few weeks that I was even willing to go and take training or join an academy after everything gets normal. So let's see how much it is feasible. But
Yeah, it's a very good thought. I think you should learn. Learning chess has a lot of benefits.
yeah, yeah, I know. Like it brings concentration, everything.
Yeah, and even like if you do like let's say you have a bad game or something, you still have to go and fight. Like so that you kind of like quickly have to rebound after a game, especially when you play rapid and all those things. And
Correct,
it's
correct.
yeah, so much like most benefits are kind of like hidden, but also chess has a lot of drawbacks if you play consistently chess. That's also they exist very much like any other thing.
Yeah, yeah, of course, like if you are doing it professionally, you have to deal with all those things. And I can see like you guys would have definitely overcome all those challenges, and that's why you are here at this top level. So it's really great.
Yeah. So okay, I think we should get back to the games, right? I think last
Yeah, yeah,
few minutes of the day of round, so we can have some
sure, sure.
analysis and things like that.
Nihal is having only like 30 seconds, I guess, 36.
Yeah, but for
13, yeah,
Nihal,
yeah.
like 30 seconds is enough. Like 3 minutes, kind of. Nihal is kind of called like one of the best blitz players in the world. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
And he is also playing against a champion, right? So yeah.
yes.
So
So
like, what do you guys think? Who is?
my opinion, in that game, Nihal versus Aravind's Nihal is in a bit of a trouble. The reason mainly being the A passed pawn and the E passed pawn. Like Black has a pawn on A5 and E5. I think if I'm on the right position, if
Yeah.
like the one that I'm seeing as Niranjan, because those pawns give you the possibility to push them forward and promote to a queen. So when you
Yeah.
have a passed pawn, that's the big advantage.
Okay.
So pass pawn is one where there is no opponent pawn here. So there is no pawn here. So
Yeah,
this one.
yeah. It has the opportunity to become a
Yeah.
queen.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So how about yes, and like Manoj, like what else like do you see in this position? Anything that catches your
Okay.
eye?
Mm, okay. So it's Arvind's move. I'll guess what move is good here. Like,
Okay.
let me know if it is good or bad.
So do you have like a favorite piece or anything in chess already?
No, I like knight. It jumps around. So,
Yeah.
but every piece has its own advantage and disadvantage, right? During end games, I don't think knights are very helpful because
Right.
there is less crowd. So during end games, bishop or rook is good. That much I
Yeah,
know.
you have got the technicalities of chess in simpler terms. You explained it in actually more simpler terms than many chess books would have.
So okay, he made a move. What move did Arvind make?
I think. Let me look into that.
The position we have is slightly older because there is some difference in the
Yeah.
streaming and the live. So
Okay, okay.
Okay. So the So the last move, I think Nihal played according to my connection is bishop to f1. Do you see the same, Manoj? Bishop and black just played a4 pawn pusher.
Yeah, so but in the
Yeah.
live we are already in the 40th
Oh,
move.
okay. So in these times, when you see play moves coming so fast, the only thing you need to do is just simply watch and make them play. It's like you mainly have to see the player's reaction. That's the fun part when they are playing blitz with less time.
Oh.
It is like they are like getting literally heart attack kind of feeling every move would be.
Okay,
Yeah.
A pawn has come to almost third rank. So
Yes. So as
Yeah.
we
oh,
mentioned, that would be the most critical reason why Aravind could win this game. That a pawn.
but he's defending it, right? Like Nihal has the queen and the rook.
Yeah.
So let's see. But also he Arvind has two rooks on 8th and 7th rank that might defend those pawns. Okay. So
Yes,
let's
so
see.
most likely Aravind's idea would be to move the rook at some point to the
To,
a file and keep the a pawn even go further forward. So that would be his key idea. And another aspect is yes, okay, he played knight f5 because that knight was not doing anything. So he wanted to bring the knight into the game.
Yeah, but
I
in the
guess that.
live we are already way too forward.
Okay,
okay.
I guess the audience is fine with that. So yeah. Let's see.
This is called the major piece endgame because only major pieces are involved.
So like how do you decide like why can't this call be a mid game because there are too many pieces? So end game is like it depends on the time also. Is it like if we have less than a minute or something, it's an end game.
No, not
Even though we
necessarily.
are okay, so it's depend on the number of pieces, right?
Right. Depends on the
So
number of
now
pieces.
so now they are almost like 30 seconds and 12 seconds on the clock, but they have too many pieces. Like they have both the rooks and the queen.
Right.
So is this a mid game or end game?
This was, let's say, an end game because somewhere very close to end game, but not fully end game that way.
Okay.
I was told to
Okay.
check the game of Tanya Sestev. I am on the screen. Like the game is there in front of my screen. The game has ended in a draw.
Oh.
Okay. So we still have few games left, I believe, right, for the
Okay, let us
day.
see if there is any game left.
Yes.
I think Divya Deshmukh and Vaishali's game is going
So
on.
yeah, so
Vaishali
both
is
of
the
them are one of. I mean, Vaishali is also a student of Velamal, and both those players are the future of like Indian women chess in general. They are like very young and extremely talented, and already in the top world rankings.
yeah, and Vaishali's sister of Pragnananda.
Oh, wow. This is nice.
So Nihal's game ended in Aravind winning, and kind of if you see the a pawn went all the way up to a2, and that was the critical reason why Nihal won the game.
Oh,
I
like
mean, sorry, not Nihal, sorry, Aravind. Aravind won the game. My bad. Yeah.
oh, he resigned. But see, there are like they have only 6 seconds, right? Like I don't understand this concept of players resigning when there is very less time on the clock. Like they just go ahead and try and see until the clock ends, or what is the logic behind? I'm just curious to know.
No, in that game he got checkmated. I mean, more or less he
Oh,
got checkmated. I mean, not
Yeah,
like there was one move which was
oh,
queen takes pawn, but if he sacrifices his queen that in that Nihal Sarin Aravind game, it's you cannot really play a queen down, and that 2 seconds increment that black has is good enough to win the
oh.
game. Yeah.
yeah,
So
right.
if you see a mate in 3 or mate in 4, like they'll resign, right? Like
In higher levels, yes, it's kind of like showing like a respect to your opponent that I know that you can see the checkmate and like resign. But I mean, it's a very debated topic. Some people say you don't have to resign at all, but generally if two strong players play and if one side knows that the game is pretty much over, they generally resign. They will not
so even
kind of.
though there is less time, or even though they know they are low on time.
Yeah,
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Yes. Yes. In online chess, people do try more than real game. If it's a real game, most likely would have resigned even earlier than this actually.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yes. So have all the
So
games completed, Niranjan, or do we still
I
have?
think so. This game is going on, which I have put on live.
Oh, okay. We have Tanya versus Divya. Okay. Can you see the game, Manoj? Like, what do you think of the position?
okay, I am actually seeing that Vaishali versus Divya Deshmukh.
Yeah. Divya, okay, yeah. Divya versus Vaishali. I think we're still stuck there, you and me. I think Niranjan is in time travel mode. He's ahead of us.
Yeah,
Okay, this game also looks equal.
I
Two
think
Yeah.
pawns
Black
and
will
a
win
queen.
this.
Okay, the Vaishali game, right?
Yeah.
Yes, because again you see a passed pawn on e3 in the Vaishali
Oh,
game.
okay,
That kind of decides the critical fact of the position. Yeah.
okay.
So pawns are like this piece, or I mean, it's a pawn which is, how to say it. It's technically starts with the lowest value, but it has so much potential in it that it can decide a lot of the games. It's that's the
Yeah,
one beautiful thing about pawns. Yeah.
You know what is a stalemate, right?
yeah. Like the king has nowhere to go,
But it is
but
not
still,
like
yeah,
it's he has nowhere to go. But it is the turn of the opponent. Like
any move is a checkmate, right? Like
no,
if
it's
they,
like let's say the side which is supposed to move has no move and is not in a check. That is a stalemate.
yeah, they are not in check. But if they go to any square, in that square they'll be mated.
Yeah, yeah. So that is also one of the reasons why some players don't resign, hoping for a stalemate.
Okay, so basically stalemate is a draw, right?
Yeah, stalemate is a draw, right?
Okay.
Okay, I think all the games are over,
Okay.
as far as I know. Yeah.
Okay. We are
So
sorry, Manoj. Like, we could not like get better analysis at the same time. Like I think there was
Ah,
some small lag at the.
that's okay. That's okay.
So,
I'm
what
just
are your
happy
thoughts?
to.
How do you feel now that you have experienced a little bit of chess on the live show?
Uh, like it's very different. I just wanted to ask how different it is to play chess over the board and chess online. Like, do you guys feel any difference, or what you guys prefer as professionals?
It is very different because when you see a board, it's like this is a 2D versus 3D kind of visualization different, which actually makes a lot of difference, because as when we are playing online, I mean, the board is like basically straight in front of our eye, but when we are calculating, it's like, kind of the board is flat and you're kind of looking at it that perspective. And also online kind of gives you some sort of okay, it's just an online game. It's very tough to take it very seriously, because most online games are generally played for fun. So it is tough to make that mental switch from um, uh, just for fun online game to a serious online tournament for many players. That is one. And another big problem is mouse slips. What we call is like, you want to put your queen, let's say, on d2, but you just drop the mouse accidentally on d3, and
Yeah,
that would
like
be just like a queen
recently,
blunder.
yeah, recently in that nation, like Hari Krishna, he had one issue like that, right?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, I think
Yeah,
Niranjan followed it.
I saw the game.
Yeah.
He had to, like, he misplaced his knight at some point. So, like, because of
Yeah.
that, uh, he lost the game.
Yes. That if
I'm
that
not
was a
sure
mouse
again.
slip, then certainly yes, it would have been a mouse slip. High
So, like,
probability.
what do they do? Like, if it is a genuine mouse slip, what do they do?
It's still, you just have to continue playing. No take back or anything. It's just part of the rules that you are signing up that, okay, I will make mouse slips. You can't do anything about it. Kind of.
Oh, like, no, after that, he resigned the game. So, it cost him the game itself. So,
Yeah, so generally mouse slips will be like pretty terrible mouse. Like one square, if you put it somewhere else, it's like you will just be giving that piece for free or something like
correct.
that.
That's what happened. Because especially when you're playing online and when you're very low on time, when you're playing over the board, you can manually adjust it,
Yes,
right?
yeah. And another key thing is the emotion part. Like when you are playing online, you can't see your opponent, you can't see their body
Ah,
language,
correct.
and but in person, that actually, like, for example, one example is like, when people played, I play against Gary Kasparov, like the legendary Kasparov, like now he's retired. They used to say he's like such a ferocious fighter. Like it's literally like you will feel the, like, him like, playing so intense on the board. But when you're playing, even if it's same intensity, it doesn't get affected to you. You are sitting on a different environment and playing, right? You are sitting in your
Correct.
room, where you may feel very comfortable, but your opponent. So that kind of things make a huge impact. Over the board chess has that factor is as crucial as you play good moves. Like sometimes you can feel that your opponent is feeling not good about the position, but you won't know what is, like your analysis skill would not be helping you, in the sense you would be like not
Oh,
sure what's happening, but your opponent will feel like very uncomfortable. Then you can sense something is wrong for him in the position.
so even if you don't know that you are in a good position, their body language will tell you that okay, something is advantage for me, so I have to
Absolutely,
capitalize.
absolutely, exactly. So the stronger the player you become, you also have to control your body language to some extent to ensure that you don't give any information to your opponent. Like a lot of
Okay.
players give facial reactions, which is a very bad thing, like in the sense.
And when you're playing live over the board, like how much it is difficult to focus on the game, because there are other games happening simultaneously. People are coming and watching the games. There are audience. So like how difficult it is to control all those things and still concentrate, because
Jen, you want to take that? Yeah, sorry.
One moment. I have
Question?
been told that standings are on and we are supposed to wrap the show. I'm sorry for that.
Okay.
no problem, no
Okay.
problem.
So Chess Gurukul is leading, and they are followed by Desi Boys, and then there is Undercover Agents. So they are the standings on your left. 5 rounds are over, and 4 more rounds will happen tomorrow in the Sukooon Resort First Indian Chess.com League.
And the game start tomorrow at 4 p.m., right?
Yeah, the game
All the
start
games.
tomorrow at 4 p.m. I would like to thank our title sponsor Sukooon Resort, our broadcast sponsor Desi Boys, and our prize sponsors Mestro Chess Academy and Goan Chess Trio and Chess Lang for their support. And all great thanks to Manoj Prabhakar. Thank you, brother,
Oh,
for coming.
absolutely my pleasure. Thanks a lot for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Hope
we had a
uh,
great
thanks.
time.
Yeah,
hope
Thanks
we
I
for
had a great
didn't
coming.
time.
make
Yes.
hope I didn't make any blunder during the stream.
Yeah.
No, you were good. You were good. And thank
Thank
you,
you.
Priyadarshan, for also joining the show. And also thanks to Ankit for being a part of the first portion of the show. Thank you, Ankit. So the live action will again begin tomorrow at 4 p.m. And we are closing it now. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Thanks, Niranjan. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Good
Bye.
night. Good night.